morning, everyone. Welcome back. Today brings us to the end. Long time in the coming. Worth every minute of the journey. I think I'm going to be a little sad to put this one down. NieR Automata. We have Route C to finish, and whatever lies beyond. Hey, Beady Gray. Kimberly, Mytherium, Densa, Tyler, what's up, all? I know some of you have been waiting for this. Specifically this, not just the game, but this part of the game. The end of the game, the ends of the game. Today will bring us, perhaps, 3 ends. But what do I know? Densa, question, what if, at one point in the game, there would be something happening, and during that moment it would be possible to do something, which would get you a cool Easter egg? Would you like me to tell you what to do during that moment? Thank you for offering. Maybe. We've done a few such things. I guess the moment, whatever moment that's gonna be in, if the story's progressing and the Easter egg is sideways, I don't know. If it's a momentum breaker, I don't think I'd want to. I know you had to think carefully through that question, and I'm trying to think carefully through an answer, but I really don't know how it's going to come into play. Easter egg won't be sideways. Yeah, if you think it fits, if you think it's appropriate, if you think it will be good to do, then yes. We were last on 9S before we even load in here. Route C has... Oh, let's back up a little further. We'll be finishing this today. Let's lay out a little context, just a bit, for where we're at. Route A and Route B share a timeline. Play through the game from one perspective, and then you play through that same series of events in the same timeline from another perspective. We got to know those characters quite well, and the story, and the setting, and as mysteries were revealed, we made a pretty deep connection with 2B and 9S, whatever you think of either of them. Getting to see their tale from each of their perspectives really forged some pretty solid bonds. We caught glimpses of A2. I have not played the first NieR, but I understand A2 is from the first game. And then in Route C, everything moves forward again, and everything starts to fall apart. Route A and B seem to have been effectively a prologue to Route C, to the story in Route C. A 40-hour prologue, if you will. Those events seen from 2 different perspectives, those bonds forged with those characters, seem to be as much a setup for everything that's happening now as it was its own tale. And of course it told its own story, and it was wonderful, and at times whimsical. And if there's anything that I don't want to say is missing from Route C, but things have progressed from ponderous and whimsical to extremely dark reflection on the nature of man and machine and relations, and just the realization at the end of Route B, big spoiler for Route A and B and the game at large, as it turns out there are no humans. There are no humans anymore. The humans never made it to the moon. Ever. The Yorha project has created a fictional council of humanity and has set up a server and a repeater of messages on the moon. Fake supplies are sent to fake humans who aren't on the moon. Messages are sent back, all for the purposes, so we've been told, of motivating the androids, the android race. So, glory to mankind. What mankind? Mankind seems to have fizzled out after something called Project Gestalt, some sort of preservation of the soul and body, replication of the body. Whatever was challenging the survival of humanity that led them to that project, it was not successful in the end. And so, androids pretend that there are humans so that androids have something to fight for. And who are they fighting? They're fighting the machines on Earth. But are they really that different? The androids have puzzled over the machines that seem to be exploring themselves, asking questions, moving towards sentience, expressing emotions. But I don't think there are many androids who had any idea that they have those same machines within them. And the black box, which we saw at the very beginning of the game of Route A, one of the first things we saw was 2B and 9S activated their black boxes, their cores, their energy source in a catastrophic explosion to take out some of the machines. Well, it turns out those black boxes contain the cores of the very machines they're fighting. So we've been peeling the onion these past few days. We have really been peeling the onion. Hey there, Malice. Route A and B seem like happy memories at this point. They do indeed. They even have the intro only in the C route, and they drop the title as if this is just the beginning. They do. That alone was mind-blowing. I'm working my way back through chat here slowly. At the end of the first game, after the credits roll, they tell you, you should really think about playing again because you've only played part of the game. And yes, the developers probably felt they needed to, otherwise people would walk. Who doesn't walk away from a game after a credit roll? A very small portion of a player base. So they popped up a message and said, hey, don't go. There's more. It's not just more, it's different. You're not done, you're just getting started. Please play again. And they meant it. And it seemed worthy enough that they would offer a playthrough from a flipped perspective on the events you just went through. What a nice twist on a new game plus. We're not just replaying it, it's a little different. Well, it was a lot different. And it reached some drastic new conclusions about the world around us and the characters we've been playing. So you get to Route C, and as Densa points out, only in the third playthrough of the game do they throw up opening title credits and then drop NieR Automata. And even that is after a 2-hour prologue to Route C. So Route A and B represent a 40-hour prologue to Route C, and Route C has its own 2-hour prologue during which the title credits roll and then they drop the title on you. It's wild. And it's been so worth it. It would be, if they could remake NieR, I knew nothing about this series until some of you started telling me about this game. And if they remade the first game, I'd be very interested. Kimberly, you're welcome for the summary. I hope that summary was useful to some of you. We've come a long way and so much has happened, it's hard to keep track of. Pascal, the pacifist leader of a machine village. It was possibly the most tragic moment of the game so far. The machine children Pascal was trying to raise were the only survivors of the destruction of Pascal's village. And those children committed suicide, all of them. And Pascal didn't want to go on. Well, it's gotten very dark. So we're in Route C. We were playing as A2, which was new in the third route. And we witnessed the death of 2B. Not the death and respawning, the death of 2B. 2B. And all the androids were cut off from the bunker. The network was down. The bunker was overtaken. And the virus that has taken the androids and many of the machines, all of the machines, any of the machines, has taken 2B. And 2B knew that. And in an encounter with A2 at the beginning of Route C, 2B asked her to kill her and to take the sword, which would contain her memories. And so A2 took 2B's sword, killed her with it, took the sword, and the memories have been integrated. A2 now possesses 2B's knowledge, although she is her own character, to say the least. 9S saw the killing blow and wants revenge on A2. 9S doesn't know that that was 2B's bidding, doesn't know why that had to happen. And he's out for revenge. And right now the pods which were linked to 2B are now linked to A2. The pods have been communicating and they've agreed to try and keep them separate. 2B and A2, 9S and A2 should not. It gets confusing, doesn't it? Sometimes. Should not come into contact. It would be bad. And we've had a choice about how to play out the chapters in this game. We're given a choice of playing A2 or 9S, and then again. And then we ran out of choices because we alternated, played as A2 and then 9S, then A2, and now we're playing as 9S. Seemed to be our only remaining choice. So we may be nearing the end. We are infiltrating resource storage units. These massive structures have erupted from the ground. And then there are these floating structures, and they appear to be storage units. One was a meat box, and the last one was a soul box. And there is at least one more. Nearing the end. So much to process.
Pod. Mark the next resource recovery unit on the map.
Affirmative.
Procyon. D. Okay. Say it again. What a long, strange trip it's been. Obtain keys, go to the marked resource recovery unit. Pretty sure we've either been locked out of any remaining side quests that might have popped up in this route, or that we can no longer complete. Or there are only a couple left, and we're not trying to finish this. We don't want to go wandering with the scanner in the desert. Maybe, but no, we have bigger things, and we're not worried about side quests now. If we stumble into something particularly good, someone recognizes, wants to engage, and feel free to encourage that, and we'll see what happens. Bolt, we got a new program yesterday that we haven't tried. Restrains and shocks one nearby enemy, causing continuous damage over a set period of time. Actually upgraded a pod yesterday. I wish I could have watched that. What did they do? Did they... Maybe I shouldn't even ask.
Message coming in.
Did they just do the first route?
Patching it through.
Gedzor. Good afternoon. Thank you for the host. They just did the A route? Okay. Yeah, man. Of course, since I was just starting to stream it, I had to stay away from it. I couldn't watch that run. Though I did catch Breath of the Wild yesterday. We could actually... When did we get Power Up Part M? When did we get Power Up Part M? We had filler metal, 4 more units of filler metal. We could actually take Pod B to level 3. That would be cool. We sold off a bunch of low-level chips yesterday to make room because we weren't able to pick up chips anymore. By the way, we're not in any kind of rush today. We've got, it's Sunday. Sunday, we're good. We don't normally stream on Sundays, not lately. Doesn't mean we won't stream on Sundays regularly again in the future. It's possible. Ah, too bad. We can't combine those. That would... The 19 would wreck the diamond, wouldn't it? Anyways, I don't know what the odds are of wanting to even optimize chips at this point. Just reflecting. We've spent so much good time here in this game. I mean, it's not even 50 hours, but it feels like more. In a good way, it feels like more. Question keeps coming up. Hey Jay, is this your game of the year now? I may never have a single game of the year. I have games of the year. My top 10 games of all time list probably has 20 games in it. Or more. But this has been one of the most unique experiences I've had in gaming. And it's up there. And it's up there. Seriously? Nice. Gedzor, you saw something interesting in the forest area. You saw the body of a dead player with the name Entropic. No J? No J? Just an imposter. Just an imposter. Coffee. 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 Damn good, Joe. Alright. Weapon upgrades. I don't know if we can do any more last minute weapon upgrades. Maybe we could take, just for fun, maybe we could take a couple other odds and ends, other weapons we've got, and upgrade them a little bit just to play around with some today. Park Ruins. We saw it over there yesterday on A2 when we were over in the park. I saw that resource unit. So, question for those of you who have who have gone through this game, through all the routes. After you've played all the routes, do you still feel like you need to go back and play it again? Who's going through all routes of this game and then playing it again? Which we won't be doing here on stream, but that's just wondering, am I not gonna be done once we're really done? Densa did. We got some new weapons yesterday. Faith. Alice played again. Mytherium played again. Trooper played again. Hey, Trooper. Procyon, you're waiting a while, and then you'll do a run on hard. Good luck. Bang of the twins. Oh, hey, we need to go. We can take Cruel Oath to 4. We just need to go to the right. We just need to go talk to the right blacksmith. Nice. Hey Max, you're cleaning up side quests first. They remain completed in your next run, so you can focus on main story. So even that. Alright, I have more questions about that, but I want to save for after we finish. I don't want to jump the gun on those. Still short 3 pristine screws to take Beast Lord to 4, although I haven't been using Beast Lord on 9S at all. Phoenix Sword. Dragon Lance. Take 1 lance up. Dignity. King Bomb likes the Beast Lord. Nice monocle there, Bob. Cypress stick, yeah, we're not gonna be able to upgrade that. Machine heads, okay, yeah, I want to play around with machine heads. Let's upgrade that. It's a horrible sounding weapon that we bought from a nearly mindless Pascal in an empty village, made from machine lifeforms heads. God, that's depressing. Robot discount. You get a discount for wielding that. 240, 250 was the type 4O. Up. All right, let's go upgrade a couple weapons. I think it's the Royal Chamber is the closest point. How are we doing on healing items? 74, 78. I think we're still plenty good on. Chamber. Have you been reading the weapon stories? Yes, although since I just upgraded a couple things, I should have done it right then or I'm liable to forget. But we're gonna do some more upgrades. Don't let me walk out of the blacksmiths up here without checking out the 4O Lance. Well, we're gonna take them both to level 4. I think we're gonna take Cruel Oath and the Type 4O Lance to level 4, and then look at their stories. Better wake my fingers up so they know what to do. My hands. Come on, hands. We're going to be playing a game here. Zadensa, you did hard. Now you want very hard. Might do it once you 100% the game. You will upgrade all the weapons to level 4. Yeah, there was some encouragement to do that here, but it's impractical for streaming unless we want to spend a lot more extra time just doing that. I am the blacksmith, Masamune. I see you're taking good care of your weapons. However, I'd be happy to sharpen them for you if you wish. Cruel Oath. Dark Impulse. It gets a special property, Dark Impulse. 4O Lance. We're using 3 of our large batteries. Checking if there's anything else we want to upgrade. The Type 4O Fist. We can't do both, because they both need large batteries. We've got Type 4O Fist that could get energy charge, or Type 4O Lance that would also get energy charge. Okay, let's see. The Fists would have light attack chain 8, 6. Batteries, memory alloys. Phoenix Sword. Great swords are slow, but this one does get attack speed up. I don't know how much of a boost that is. Try upgrading that as well. Colossal Axe. Faith. Bang of the Twins. Damn, we can take that all the way up. Phoenix Flash. I wonder what that is. 3 out of 4 of our clean nuts. I don't get to keep my nuts. Got a few stories to check out now. We need more large batteries. Bullet absorb. Woo! That's a cool sounding feature. All right. It's gonna be hard to even use all of those. Ah, your white sword. You just own the black sword. Why are you talking about the white sword? We've heard this before. Maybe it's his standard dialogue. He was a master craftsman who gathered 4 black and 4 white weapons and improved on them. But they spilled so much blood that my master sealed them away in various locations across the world. However, I wager you would wield them in the service of good. If that is true, you can search for them in the sealed shrines throughout the world. Stories. Faith. In the capital of a distant eastern land, there lived a poet who was devoted to his art. But his words failed to touch the hearts of the people, and he could make no profit from them. Soon his life became unbearably hard. Seeing the limits of his talent, the poet chose to abandon the pen and work the land instead. Soon his lily-white skin began to grow dark, and his once frail body became sinewy and tough. He eventually married a kind woman, and several years later they had a child. As the peaceful, uneventful days went on, the man began to feel that there could be no greater happiness in life. Took Cruel Oath to level 4. Once, long ago, there was a group of 7 boys who were born in the same village. Though they were not brothers by blood, they treated each other as family. One cold night, a fortune teller appeared and warned of a traitor among them. The boys laughed it off and went about their business, but the next morning, one of them lay dead. With each passing night, another boy died. The survivors grew more and more suspicious of each other, each harboring terrible doubts about what had happened to their brothers. On the morning of the 7th day, a single survivor stood tall, cleaning the blood from his hands. He chuckled to himself. Better go find the traitor. And this is the sword that 9S uses by default. Not curious. S7, yeah, these are the weapons themselves come with stories. Each of them. The Phoenix Sword. One day, a hawk lost its way in the woods. Its proud wings soon grew weak as it tried in vain to find its way home. As death approached, a songbird took pity on the hawk and did its best to offer aid. The songbird slowly nursed the hawk back to health. The beautiful sight of the small white bird nestled in the elegant wings of the hawk soon made it the envy of all the creatures in the forest. When the hawk was fully healed, it knew it was time to leave the forest. But before flying away, it promised the songbird it would one day return. In turn, the songbird gave the hawk one of its shining feathers as a token of friendship. As promised, the hawk eventually returned, but with a human in tow. "Well done," said the human. "These feathers will sell for a great price at the market." Then he slew the songbird in one blow and plucked its carcass clean. No! That's horrible. Type 4O Lance. Hi guys, it's me, 42S, your favorite Yura Squadron idol from North 12C Defense HQ. I'm here with the latest hot scoops from the front line, so let me get out there and do our best. Let's get out there and do our best, alright? Go team! Hey ho, Battlefield buddies. I'm not gonna lie here, the current war situation isn't looking too optimistic, but we're expecting reinforcements from our orbiting satellite bases any moment, so don't give up yet. Glory to mankind. Mayday! Mayday! This is Publicity Agent 42S from North 12C Defense HQ. Is anyone listening? Our facility has been completely surrounded by machines. I don't know how much longer we can... Please don't have a story. I mean, I lack parts. I am useless. So, Cruel Oath, level 4. That's the Spear of the Yorha Betrayers, the 4O stuff. The one that cuts out? That was the 4O Spear, wasn't it? Does that make all the 4O gear, all the 4O stuff is the Yorha Betrayers? See, this is better than rushing last night, right? After 8 hours, we had a great stream yesterday, and it was long, it started early. This is day 5 in a row, and I'm still on the fence about whether I need to take tomorrow off, because we're doing this. But I'll worry about that. We're probably starting Mass Effect tomorrow, but if we keep to the schedule, it means for the first time in probably a year, I'll have done 7 days in a row of streams. It's a lot, you know? It's a lot. So I'm really glad that we didn't push it yesterday. Trying to finish this going into hours 9, 10, 11. That's just too faded, too exhausted from an awesome day of playing yesterday. Where were we going? Amusement park. Attraction Square. Resource collection unit. Machines here have turned to zombies. They used to be so happy. They even have zombie faces. And when they rage out, they start eating other machines down to the core. What was once the happiest place left on Earth? Becomes something else entirely. They just wanted to be happy together. You'll be the one. Yeah. Hey, Big Joe. I'm great. I'm very good this morning. Thank you. How about you? Glad you could join us for the end of this. This version of the song is so fitting
resource recovery unit. Now activating defense mode.
Over and over.
Over and over. Machines where? Roller coaster in the background. Damn, what a soundtrack.
That language again.
This reads God box.
God, huh? What are these machines doing talking about gods?
Meat box. Soul box. God box. For what lies ahead. Xbox. Become as gods. We will all die and become as gods.
Pod, why did the machines attack Pascal's village? Aren't they all the same?
Unknown.
Well, aren't you helpful?
Proposal. Unit A2 should gather further data on the current state of machine life.
Hello, and thank you for choosing Tower System Services.
Huh?
We've got some very exciting news for everyone today. There's only one lock left to remove from the Tower System. And in order to retain for your faithful patrons, whoever dismantles the final substance will earn a special prize. Good luck.
The hell was that?
Large structural unit of machine life form origin activated to the east.
A large what now? What the heck is going on around here?
Unknown.
Well, let's go check out this large structural unit.
So that was a little bit unexpected. I thought we were going in as 9S. And maybe we will, but apparently not yet. We didn't do a chapter select. But here we are again. A2, I was hoping for that anyways. I was really hoping we'd get to play as A2 again. To the east. How far are we talking here? Pretty far. Oh. Oh, they're going to meet up. She's headed to the same place. 9S's entry into that God box seems to have triggered that broadcast message that A2 heard from over here by the factory. Try talking to Anemone first. I'm happy to take another trip over there. Anemone's been hit or miss. Finally, A2 and Anemone got to talk. But up to that point, Anemone was just MIA anytime A2 went to camp. She's there now. We'll chat. We made it to level 55. You've changed, number 2. The way you talk and act is completely different from how you were in the past. And you become a true leader. I have nothing compared to Rose. Actually, I have the records stored on that external drive. Thought I should preserve memories of the time we fought together. I also think you've a right to see them. You and I must never forget. I know. What do you have for us here? Select a file. Your Pearl Harbor Descent Personal Record, Part 1. My name is Anemone, and I lead the android resistance. This is a record of the battles I've experienced and my losses. I leave it here as a warning to myself. Machine life form attack lands far too close for comfort. I smell an acrid odor. I know that some of my hair has been singed off. Anemone, retreat for now. That's an order. That's my captain, Rose. I obey her without hesitation, running from the front as soon as I take out a few nearby enemies. Feet flying beneath me, I leap to the hastily built trench where my resistance comrades are gathered. How many battles is this now? The same sights and sounds, the same struggle of attrition. My resistance forces play the same war on repeat, with no end in sight. I don't even remember why we're fighting anymore. But I must continue regardless. I must continue until one side or the other is dead. This looks bad, Xian. What should we do? Calm down, Lily. We'll find an opening somewhere. You don't search for an opening, you make one! Dahlia, wait! I grab Dahlia's arm before she can flee the trench and turn to Rose. She brought us here, after all. She must have a plan of some kind. But as the enemy horde closes in, Rose simply squints off in the distance. There's been a change in enemy movements, she says finally. Someone just started fighting over there. That's not possible, stammers Margaret. We're all here. Margaret's right. There are only 9 of us left, capable of fighting the machines. Captain Rose, Gerbera, Lily, Sonia, Erica, Margaret, Xian, Dahlia, and me, Anemone. We're all that's left of the 8th Descent Forces. The one that took place roughly 200 years ago. An uneasy Sonia pulls Xian close and chews on a loose strand of hair. I don't like it, she says. What if it's some kind of machine trap? I wait for a while, heart pounding, until I hear the enemy fire lessen. Okay, I say, this looks like our chance. Let's pull back. Someone's fighting out there, Anemone, cries Dahlia. We can't abandon them. Oh, so you want to risk all of our lives for For some stranger? Come on. We don't even know if this mystery fighter is on our side or not. That's not what I said. Enough, you two, barks Xi'an. Captain makes the final decision on this. After Xi'an speaks, all of us turn to Captain Rose. She looks us in the eyes and nods slowly before starting to speak. Gerbera? The enemy is heading toward the explosives we set up earlier. Yes? Gerbera thinks for a moment. Now that you mention it, yeah, they are. A slight smile crosses Rose's face, yet she still seems perfectly composed. Good. Then if this goes well, we might be able to take them all out. I want all of you to leave this trench and get to those explosives, says Rose. We'll let the blast take out most of them, then clean up the stragglers. Identifying our unknown mystery fighters can wait until we're done. No one objects to the captain's decision. The moment she issues the order, we all leap from the trench as one and re-enter the fray. When we reach the battle, we find what appears to be another set of androids dressed in strange black outfits. Before they even know what's happening, we detonate the explosives, kill the remaining machines, and turn our guns in their direction. All right, I say to the strangers, start talking. Easy, says one of the mystery androids. We're on your side. We're new models rolled out as part of something called Project Yorha. Really? I say, we haven't heard anything about new models. I probably speak with more bluster than necessary, but I have to make sure they're actually on our side. I don't think they're lying necessarily, but I can't read their expressions, thanks to the giant goggles they wear. And, frankly, little caution never goes amiss in the middle of a war. We learn that the 4 androids refer to each other as Number 2, Number 4, Number 16, and Number 21. They also aren't in a hurry to share much more. Our mission is top secret, one of them says. That's why you haven't heard about us yet. I slowly draw my knife in an attempt to gauge their reaction. So, in other words, no one will know any better if I kill you right now? Stand down, Anemone, says Rose softly. No, cries Lily, she's right. We've all seen how quickly the enemy is evolving. Who's to say these 4 aren't machines that just look human? You're right, Malice. I was worried. I didn't want to skip ahead on any point. My companions nod in agreement. This damn war has made us all suspicious. One of the strangers, number 16, I believe, draws a long knife from its sheath. If it's a fight you want, she says, I'm happy to give it to you. Before I can respond, Dahlia leaps in front of me with her weapon at the ready. This is it. We're gonna fight. But just before the battle can erupt, the android called Number 2 steps forward. Wait, she says. There used to be 16 of us, says Number 2, but the others died during the descent. Misbehave, welcome, thank you for the host. We're isolated and alone out here. Reinforcements aren't coming. And that means we have to finish this mission with the soldiers we have left. We don't need more enemies right now. What we need is allies. She finishes this speech with a soft sigh, as if trying and failing to hold her emotions in check. I know that sort of voice. The voice of someone who still has hope, despite all the odds. Whew. Some archives, Anemone and Rose. Oh, there's more. Cool, part 2. We're not done. Enjoy that. Malice, thanks for the suggestion to click through it a little bit. Howdy, Tiger. Jamster Fudge, welcome aboard. Thank you for the follow. Hey there, Iceman. Happy Sunday, good sir. And Rhiannon Aurora earlier, thank you for the follow as well. You're out there. But wait, there's more. For just $19.95, you can have part 2. Everybody, please keep an eye out for people hosting the stream. Shout outs from the Devouring Demon about other streamers here on Twitch. We've got a lot of good streamers in our Entropic family. And thank you, Misbehave, for the host. Please check out Misbehave, Iceman Cometh. Plenty of people here who are streaming, and I often fail in my duties, shouting everyone out. But keep an eye out. There's another right there, Rage Mage. How goes the NieR Automata? It's so good. Rage, it's so good. We're gonna be finishing today, actually finishing today. When we started this a couple weeks ago, I knew we'd be considering the multiple playthroughs, but I certainly wasn't committed to it. What a ride. We're doing it all. We may not be 100%ing the game, but come on, we're playing through it again and again. Go, go, go. So please, everyone, keep an eye out for all the good streamers here in our family. Check them out. Consider dropping a follow. Spread the love. Yorha, Pearl Harbor, Descent Personal Record, Part 2. According to the Yorha team, there's an enemy server beneath Mount Kaala. We can take it out, we might finally gain some ground in this endless war. But in order for that to happen, we need to work together. After a bit of thought, Rose decides to throw in with the new models. The relationship that changes as time goes on. What are you doing, Dahlia? Just showing this idiot how weak she is, replies a winded Dahlia. Ha! Wheezes her opponent, number 16. You're obviously outmatched. The two of them are taking turns hitting each other. Seems friendly enough, as those things go. Plus, they've been doing it for so long now that both of them are out of energy. They likely couldn't punch through a piece of paper at this point. The rest of the group stares at the combatants and tries not to grin. Dahlia and number 16 seem to butt heads over the smallest little things. Maybe it's because they're so much alike. Almost annoying how quickly muscleheads learn to like one another. The rest of us converse as Dahlia and 16 continue to spar. We call each other by names that I gave us, explains Rose. I see, responds number 4. I thought it's strange that you didn't use code numbers. She nods while she speaks, as though this all makes perfect sense. Suddenly, Captain Rose breaks out into a wide grin. You know what? She says. I think we should give all of you names as well. No, says number 2. That would be a waste. Rose eyes her warily. A waste? You can name me when the mission is over, she replies as a blush rises in her cheeks. I could tell her words also served as a wish for success. All right, responds Rose. I'll think of a name for you by then. She knows this is a fleeting promise, as most such things are, but it doesn't matter. Already I can see us growing closer to the Yora team. Well, my friends are growing closer to them, at least. You're all being careless, I state, much louder than I intend. Luckily, the others either don't hear or decide to ignore it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not about to go against the captain's judgment. That doesn't mean I'm ready to just lie down and trust our new friends. Ours is a solitary existence that has long since been abandoned by the moon. No matter how they cried, mourned, or struggled, the voices of our departed comrades went unanswered. So how can you trust an entire squad of new models that you just met? Wrong, Anemone. I hear Lily calling to me. She's likely concerned about me being apart from the rest of the group. Nothing, I began. Before I can complete my thought, Lily suddenly opens her mouth and emits a terrible scream. Ah! Lily's scream echoes throughout the entire camp. It's heartbreaking. It's agony. It's horrible. She's infected! Screams Rose. Lily's infected! We all draw weapons out of instinct as much as anything else, pointing them at our comrade as she continues to scream and scream and scream. We all know what's happening. We've seen it before. It's a logic virus, a machine weapon that hijacks android systems and overwrites their data. And since there's no known cure, it's also a death sentence. I need to show her mercy. I need to set her free. My finger rests on the trigger, yet I hesitate. And before I can make that final, fateful decision, I hear a voice rise up from somewhere behind me. Stop! You can't do this! You can't just let your friend die! It's number 21. The girl I thought to be cool and composed beyond all measure was now pleading with me to spare Lily's life. What do I do? What the hell do I do? Lily said you were like a family to her. You can't abandon family, not before you exhaust every possibility. What can you do then? I'll use my power to erase the virus. That's impossible. Rose spat out what we were all thinking, but before we can act, Lily starts to send nearby comrades flying with impossible strength. I've seen infected androids before. I know how much damage they can do once the virus turns off their limiters. They'll fight and fight until they're utterly destroyed. Dahlia and number 16 rush into the fray, trying to suppress their former friend, but she swats them away like flies. How many of us have been infected now? How many friends have I been forced to put down? The heart I'm not supposed to have aches with the thought. It aches as I remember all the identification numbers that have been retired. When did I start giving them names? When did I decide I simply couldn't endure it any longer? Initiating reprogramming sequence. That voice, number 21? She's screaming something about reprogramming? I don't know what to do. Lost. As my vision slowly clears, I see number 21 inputting commands into her terminal while number 2 and number 4 hold her down. They hold her as she writhes, and Rose stares at me with surprise. Oh no. I'm holding Lily too. Huh. Wonder if it's the same virus as recently. It makes you wonder. I think that would be the first logical presumption, right or wrong. Part 3. I'm glad we came to read these. This was good. 14th Machine War, Pearl Harbor Descent. The name of the mission entrusted to the Yorha soldiers. Was there ever such furious gunfire? Such bombings that continued without pause? Our target is the machine's server under Mount Kaala, and our situation is dire. We need reinforcement. Requesting deployment at once. Number 2 speaks quickly yet calmly, which is all the more remarkable considering the hostile army closing in on our position. But the command center in the orbiting satellite informs us no reinforcements will be forthcoming. We are abandoned. We are alone. It's so easy to do from up there, from the satellite, from the moon. I'll do whatever is necessary, says Lily with a grim smile. Dahlia and Margaret quickly nod in agreement, as does number 16. They decided to join the rear guard, staying behind to be our shield, even though it comes at the cost of their own lives. Regardless, they all agreed without hesitation. For we in the vanguard would be joining them in death soon enough. Without another word, we turn our backs on each other and take up positions. We know this is the end. Dahlia and the others will buy us time to reach the gate at Kaala's peak. Beyond that lies an elevator, and beyond that is the server. If we can destroy it, we'll deal a devastating blow to machine life forms throughout the Pacific region. But as I notice number 21 scowling at the elevator, I start to have a bad feeling about the final stage of our mission. Go on, she says, I've got this. We crowd into the elevator as she begins hacking the terminal. She doesn't need to tell us what's happening. It's clear that the elevator won't descend all the way to the server unless someone stays behind to control it. Enemies incoming! They're almost on us! As I speak, I suddenly find myself leaping from the elevator and taking up a position at number 21's side, almost as if my body is out of my control. Something is wrong. Something. I'll back up number 21, I cry. The rest of you take out that server. The doors close on my friends. The last thing I see is the face of my captain, Rose. She looks concerned. But then the doors shut and she is no more. That was the last time I ever saw them. But it's all right. I'm gonna finish this, one way or the other. The only sounds we hear are distant explosions and the rasp of number 21's breathing. Thank you, she whispers, for staying with me. I look at her eyes and see the telltale red of a logic virus infection. I was right after all. I sigh softly as I draw my weapon. I've seen comrades infected before. That's why I couldn't leave her to die alone. The vaccine she gave Lily is already ineffective. The enemy has evolved. They studied number 21's patterns and developed a new resistance. No one can save her now. When the elevator reaches the server, number 21 ends weakly, then I'll give you peace, I reply. The elevator moves ever lower, creating a countdown on number 21's life. How much time has passed? How much can possibly be left? Too long to wait, yet not enough to regret. A massive explosion echoes in the distance as the hall slowly shakes. It's the final act of Lily and the others in the rear guard. They just overloaded their own fusion reactors. The sound of our comrades' demise slowly fades from our ears. As it does, number 21 reaches up and slowly removes her goggles. I'm glad I got to meet you, she says. Her eyes are so red, but not completely. There's still a little of herself left. And while it is, don't worry, I say. I'll be with you soon. She smiles as my words reach her ears. As soon as the elevator touches down, I fire a bullet into number 21's brain. I watch the thing that used to be her tumble to the ground. I stare at the gun I hold in trembling hands. I press it to my temple. This will end it all. The war. My meaningless existence. All of it will finally be over. Unforgivable. 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 Your comrades sacrifice themselves and fight to the last breath. They feel suffering. They feel sadness. They feel pain and terror. And yet you would surrender now? Unforgivable. The voice is a battlefield curse, telling those who survive to see their mission through no matter what. There's another me crying out. I scream at the top of my lungs and race down the hall. I'll show you. If you're gonna push me, I'll show you. You'll only be satisfied if it ends with more killing. I leap into the fray with weapons in both hands. Here I am. Here I am. Kill me! As I scream, an explosion suddenly rises up and sweeps everything away. A soft wind touches my cheek. I smell fire. I smell ash. The explosion in the server room was powerful enough to take out Mount Kaala itself, reducing the once proud summit to a smoking crater. The machines immediately drop to the ground and stop moving. I look out over the scorched earth. Lily, number 16, Rose, number 2, are any of you? I am the only one left. The only one. I was alive because I had been afraid to die. I begin to giggle. It's a mad thing, crazed, even to my own ears. I'll join you soon. You promised to join her soon. How could I have said such vain, laughable words? Such lies? I laugh. I stand in the smoke and the flame and laugh till I think my very throat will tear itself in two. Blink. Daylight drifts through the smoke. I've been standing here all night. My laughter finally depleted, I force myself to my feet. I'm the coward who stayed behind. The coward who lived. Now it's my job to carry on the will of those who fought at my side. Since I can't kill myself, I have to fight until someone does it for me. I'll endure every hardship. I'll kill every machine I find. This is my cross to bear. I walk slowly into the west, dragging my broken body along. Wow. I'm sorry I'm still alive. But I'll be joining you as soon as I finish some things up. That was good. Anemone has been through some stuff. No kidding. No kidding. Yeah, that gave us a lot. Hey, anyone who got here during the readings, welcome. Hey, Queen Eva. Cheers. Melga, Bloodwolf. Glad you could all make it. Oh boy, that was pretty intense. That was fun to read. Fun being relative since it was pretty dark. Rakai, welcome aboard. Thank you for the follow. Hey, Botharian, cheers. I'm just kind of reeling from that. That was pretty intense. Tell you what, we're about to go to the resource recovery unit. Let me take a short break, just to cool down. Instead of going from that into overdrive, let's take a very short break. One song. 4.5 minutes. Got that pick on PC still right. Which one now? Which pick? Alright, I'll be back. Give me 5 minutes.